There are AI tools right now that can clone your voice in 30 seconds. Write a 12-minute podcast from a PDF before your kettle finishes boiling. And generate an entire original song, vocals, beats, lyrics, while you're brushing your teeth. None of this is illegal. All of it is real. And after this video, you're probably going to feel a little guilty, like you've been doing life on hard mode this whole time. 7 AI tools ranked from slightly unfair to, damn, how is this legal? I'm not going to waste your time with the same 7 tools every other channel covers. I review AI tools for a living, and tool number 1 on this list genuinely broke my brain the first time I saw it work. By the end of the video, you'll have a stack of 7 tools that, if your boss knew you were using them, you'd either get a promotion or get fired for making everyone else look slow. Right, let's get into it. Tool number 7, Perplexity. You know that soul-destroying moment when someone says, do some research on this, and you lose 3 hours of your life clicking through SEO spam blog posts that all rip each other off? Perplexity ends that forever. You ask it a question, it searches the live web, reads dozens of sources, and gives you a real answer, with footnotes you can actually click and verify. It's basically a research assistant that doesn't get tired, doesn't take lunch breaks, and doesn't bill you $200 an hour. Why does it feel illegal? Because every consultant, every analyst, every junior researcher charging by the hour is currently sweating. I know a friend who works in finance that runs a full competitor breakdown in 4 minutes. It used to take her an entire morning. Use Perplexity once for something serious, and you'll never go back to Google for research again. But Perplexity is only the warm-up. The next one doesn't just research, it performs. Tool number 6, Google's Notebook LM. Picture this. You take a 200-page PDF, could be a legal contract, a textbook, your university lecture notes, a research paper you've been meaning to read for 6 months. You drop it into Notebook LM, and about 90 seconds later, it generates a 10 to 15-minute podcast. 2 AI hosts, bantering, joking, explaining the document like they're on national radio. It sounds real, like scary real. It's also free, and it's from Google. Students are using it to turn dense study material into commute audio. Lawyers are feeding entire case files in. Why does it feel illegal? Because for the last century, the ability to translate complex information into easy-to-digest audio was the entire job of professional journalists and educators. Now you can literally do it in your underwear at 2 a.m. But making information easier to consume, that's child's play compared to what's next. Tool number 5, 11 Labs. 11 Labs is the closest thing we have on planet Earth to a real-life voice cloning machine. You upload about a minute of your voice, clean audio, no background noise, and within seconds, you've got a digital twin that can read literally any text. Your inflections, your accent, your weird verbal tics. Audiobook narrators are panicking. YouTube creators are scaling channels into dozens of languages overnight. And legitimate dubbing studios that used to charge thousands per episode are suddenly competing with a monthly subscription that costs less than a takeaway. Look, I want to be straight with you. 11 Labs requires consent to clone real voices. They've got safeguards against impersonation, which is good because the tech in the wrong hands is a really bad idea, but used legitimately, an absolute game changer. Why illegal vibes? Because being a great narrator used to be a career, a craft people spent decades perfecting. Now it's a simple drop-down menu and a checkbox. Okay, cool. But what if I told you the next tool clones your entire face on camera? Tool number 4, HeyGen. HeyGen makes photorealistic AI avatars. You film yourself for 2 minutes reading a consent script. They build your digital twin. From that point on, you can type a script, and your AI version delivers it on camera. In 175 plus languages, with proper lip sync, looking, frankly, more rested than the real you. I know creators running entire faceless YouTube channels using HeyGen avatars. They never sit in front of a camera, never set up lighting, never do a take. They write the script, hit generate, and a believable human reads it. Meanwhile, you're there sweating under 3 softbox lights, wondering if you should have worn a different shirt. I've seen low-budget HeyGen videos outperform $10,000 corporate productions. Why? Because the AI avatar doesn't get tired, doesn't fluff its lines, and doesn't need 6 weeks to do a shoot. And the illegal vibe? Well, now you can scale content like a Netflix studio with the budget of a Spotify subscription. But making yourself talk is one thing. Tool number 3 makes your computer work for you while you sleep. Number 3, Cursor and Claude Code. Now, if you're not a coder, please don't tap away. This might be the one with the biggest economic shockwaves of them all. Cursor and Claude Code are AI-powered coding tools. You describe what you want in plain English, they write the code. Not snippets, not here's a starting point, entire features, entire apps, with debugging, with testing, with proper file structure. I witnessed a non-developer build a working SaaS prototype in 4 days. 40 years ago, that would have been a small miracle. Today, it's a long weekend. Why does this feel illegal? A junior developer costs a company $60,000 a year in salary, but no more. Companies are now hiring 1 senior developer plus Cursor instead of 3 juniors. Entire coding bootcamp business models are getting cooked in real time. Now, I'll be honest with you, and this is the bit other channels skip. These AI coding tools still hallucinate. They can still write rubbish if you don't supervise them. They're not magic. But the trajectory? Brutal. If you can describe a problem clearly, you can now build software. Full stop. Okay, we're finally at the top 2, and these are the ones that actually made me message my friends in a panic. Tool number 2, Suno. Suno is an AI that generates full songs, original songs, vocals, instruments, lyrics, mastering, all of it, from a single text prompt. You type lo-fi hip-hop about missing your girlfriend, and 45 seconds later, you have a finished track with a singer that doesn't exist, with lyrics, with a proper structure, verse, chorus, bridge, that sounds like a real artist sweated over it. This used to require a singer, a producer, a sound engineer, a studio, weeks of work, money. Now, it requires you to type 1 sentence and click a button. The music industry, predictably, is freaking out. There are real legal battles right now around training data and copyright, but that's a separate conversation. The genie is out of the bottle. Indie filmmakers are scoring entire short films with Suno. YouTubers are generating custom theme music, and some Suno tracks have already snuck onto Spotify playlists with millions of streams. Why illegal? Because creative work that used to belong to trained musicians is now available to anyone with a laptop and a vague idea about who their ex was. But Suno still just makes audio. The number 1 tool, it makes everything else, and it does it autonomously. Tool number 1, AI agents, Claude, computer use, and ChatGPT operator. Okay, final tool. And this one is genuinely from the future. AI agents, like Anthropic's computer use or OpenAI's operator, don't just answer your questions. They actually use your computer. You give one a task. Book me the cheapest flight from Miami to LA next Friday, under $150, no early mornings, aisle seat. And it opens a browser. It logs into a booking site. It compares flights. It applies the filters. It fills in your details. And it hands you a finished booking link. It scrolls, it clicks, it types. Without you. Okay, I admit, the tech is still a bit rough around the edges. Sometimes it gets confused. Sometimes it clicks the wrong button. Sometimes it tries to book your grandmother a flight to the wrong city. But the moment it works reliably, and we're talking months, not years, every white-collar job that involves logging into stuff and clicking around fundamentally changes. Tasks that currently eat up half the working day in offices everywhere on Earth. We're talking admin, bookkeeping, customer support, procurement, travel planning, all automated. And that sound you hear? That's the entire knowledge economy, quietly bracing for impact. So here's the honest truth I want to leave you with. These tools aren't illegal. They're not hidden. They're not even particularly secret. They're just new. And the people who learn how to use them first, well, they're going to look like absolute superstars to everyone who hasn't. I review AI tools for a living over at Daily Digital Reviews, and my one rule is real tools, real research, no hype. So if you want my honest take on which new tools you should be focusing on, the link's in the description.